Hello students, hope all of you are fine. So today we will start one of the most important chapter in our paper taxation, that is income from salaries. So when we are starting the chapter, the income from salaries, the first thing we have to know what is a salary. According to section 17 subsection 1 of the Income Tax Act 1961, it has been defined what is a salary and what are the different components of a salary. The salary includes all the monetary payments, the basic, the bonus, the commission, allowances, etc., and also the non-monetary facilities. That means the housing accommodation, the medical facility, the loan facility, and many other things. Altogether, they come into the head salary. So the salary means both the monetary payments as well as non-monetary facilities, which is received by the SEC from his employer. So there is a relationship between the employee and the employer in this chapter. The section 17 subsection 1 of Income Tax Act, which is actually the governing body or the controlling body of the income from salary. Now coming into the section, there are section 15, 16 and 17. The 15 goes for chargeability, the 16 goes for deductions, and 17 goes for definitions. Now, we have already discussed that tax paid by the employer on salary of the employee also constitutes the income of the employee under the head. Under section 16, there are two deductions. Number one is entertainment allowance and then the professional tax. And all the definitions of salary, the perks means the perquisite, and the profits in lieu of salary are defined under section 17. So first we are going for the chargeability of income under the head salaries. I have already said that there should be the employer-employee relationship under this section. So the employee will receive the salary, the monetary payments and the non-monetary facilities from his employer. But look at the second thing, the master-servant relationship. A person acting as an agent for the principal during the course of this business does not exhibit any master-servant relationship. Hence, any commission or remuneration earned does not fall under the ambit of salaries. So if there is a business and somebody is getting some commission, there is not a salary. So he should get that salary from his legal employer, and he should be the legal employee of the organization. So there may be the contract of service or contract for service. So there is no contract for service, there will be the contract of service with the employee and employer. The salary may be chargeable either on due basis or a receipt basis. However, any salary paid in advance is assessed in the year of payment, but the same cannot be brought into tax in the year in which it becomes due. So then there is a double taxation on that. The salary already assessed on due basis cannot be brought to tax when received by the employee. But something different will be for the loan, because loan taken from employer, if subsequently recovered from a salary, is not taxable in the hands of the employee. The salary include the wages, the pension, the gratuity, the fees, the advance of salary, and the leave encashment. So everything in monetary terms we are getting from the employer will be charged under the head salaries. Sometimes you will get confused. They say why there is wages when we are defining the salary. So don't think it from the profit and loss or trading account point of view. If we all know the wages is an direct income, it should appear in the trading, and salary is an indirect income, indirect expense rather, it will appear in the PL. There is no such thing in tax. When we are defining the salary, wages is also included in under the head. So it means a wage kid means a worker of a factory. will also be charged under income from salary. Now there are some other definitions for the salary. We will get advanced. One of the most important thing in salary is profit in lieu of salary. So it is a salary which is not actually a salary, but still it's a salary. Getting confused. Let me define. It means any payment due or received by an assessee from his employer or former employer from provident fund or other fund, or anything which is received by the assessee under any insurance policy, or the amount of any compensation due or received by an assessee from his employer or former employer or in concert with termination or modification in the terms of payment. So far what I have said, it means that everything what you are getting from his employer, from your employer, whether the ex-employer or the current employer, with the due basis or receipt basis, will be included under the head salaries. But here comes the main part. Any amount, whether in lump sum or otherwise, due to the assessee or received by him from any person, maybe before joining the employment or after cessation after the employment from the employer, will be held under profit in lieu of salary. Means any other sum received by the employee from the employer will be treated profit in lieu of salary. So it may be not maybe wages, maybe not a pension, maybe not anything, what you are getting irregular. There may be some irregular payments which was due, which you are getting, or maybe a lump sum amount. All of them will be included profits in lieu of salary. What is an annuity? It's a sum payable in respect particular year, a yearly grant. There may be a present employer. For him, it will be under the salary. But if it's a past employer, it will be taxed as a profit due of salary. So remember, if you are getting an annuity, means a payment. If you are a present employer, it will be included in your current salary. But if you are receiving from a past employer, it will be treated as a profit in lieu of salary. So a person on a single year may be taxed under salary and profit in lieu of salary, both. Now we are coming to the section 16, means the deductions. The very first thing will come under deduction section 16 subsection 2 will the entertainment allowance. It is the exemption available only to the government employees. It is not for the non-government or private employees. The amount of deduction will be the minimum of the three heads. The rupees 5,000 is the government notified amount, then the 1/5 of the basic salary, and the actual allowance received. Whichever will be minimum, that will be deducted from the entertainment allowance. Now, it is very important. What is the term is salary here? The salary means, look at the note, the basic and excludes all allowances, including the only dearness allowance benefits and perquisites. Now, what is the professional tax under section 16, subsection 3? It is a slab, it's a table of tax which a professional have to pay to the government, to the state government. There are some exceptions like Army, Navy, Air Force. Other than that, adding to the Article 276 of the Constitution of India, everybody has to pay a professional tax. Normally, the employer will deduct the professional tax. He will give you the amount and he will give the return to the government and will notify you. So it's a compulsory levy which is charged from the state government, which will be deducted by the employer. Now the gratuity. It is a voluntary payment made by an employer in appreciation of service rendered by the employee. It's a term of gratitude from the employer to the employee. The minimum period an employee have to serve for his employer is continuing 5 years. So unless and otherwise an employee has not rendered 5 years continuous service in the organization or for the employer, is not eligible to get a gratuity. So it is a payment which is paid to the employee after his retirement. So we can say it is a retirement benefit. But the eligibility starts after completion of the 5 years. The exemption is available to government employees and also for the non-government employees. Under the non-government employees, there may be some persons who are covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act or maybe not covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act. Now, these are the rules. For any state or central government employee, it is fully exempted from tax. If the non-government employees who are covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, the exemption level is minimum of 3 points, of 3 heads. Number one is government notified amount, that is 10 lakh. Number two is actual gratuity received. And number three is the 15 days salary based on last drawn salary for each completed year of service or part thereof in excess of 6 months. Here salary means the basic and DA, and number of days to be taken for the calculation will be 26. Now you will be surprised why it is 26. Then we will deduct the 4 Sundays here. So that is 30 minus 4 is equal to 26. Now the person who are actually not covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act, the rule is almost the same. There is a little bit difference. The first amount is GNA, means the government notified amount, that is 10 lakh, then the actual gratuity. But instead the 15 days salary, here the rule is half month salary based on the last 10 months average salary immediately preceding the month of retirement or death. So whenever he is retiring, we have to calculate the back calculation means of the last 10 months average salary. Here also the salary means the basic, DA allowances. And the commission means a fixed percentage of commission if it is permitted or given by the employer to his employee. So hope you have understood so far the basic part, the salary, its structurability, its components. And we have started the deductions. The first thing we have covered so far today is the gratuity. So in our next class, we will do some problem on gratuity. Hope you have understood so far. Thank you.